You know, I think what we were talking about, here it is in the middle of the holidays here in the United States,
Everywhere.
and around the world, and it becomes more center focused on what you don't have versus what you do have, and it becomes quite difficult because you want connection, and it's really hard to see when the future looks so dim and the past has not been kind in any kind of way, and your connection to your present moment is one that you're just not willing to really look at and embrace and accept. When we were talking about because we're seeing a lot more why, a lot more seeking outside validation
Right.
of why you don't have something, but what you do have just almost becomes non-existent.
Why are you go through the holiday season depressed because you're not with the one you're connected to, or you have no contact with the one you're connected to, and that becomes the focus of your holiday season versus family, spending time with yourself, going deeper inside yourself, and learning more about yourself. You want to learn more about why.
Yeah. And then you're trying to just find others that can be asking the same question, because that's what you'll attract into your life. You're going to attract those who will experience the same thing, and then you'll get a congregation together. Did I say congregation? I don't know if I ever used that word. But anyway, it's almost like, you're going to make sure that everybody stays in the finger pointing game that you're in of not having. And thing is you don't even see the energy that's attracting to you, for you, because you become almost addicted to it. And now that's the part of the addiction, now you got to keep validating that addiction. And that's kind of what happens. It's almost as though you found a way to surround yourself with those who want to point at disconnection instead of connection itself. And
that's so big. We so focus on disconnection so much more than we focus on the actual connection that's there. And then you wonder why you're disconnected.
And then you're stuck in the space of I don't know, asshole. So, and I get it. There's a ton of stuff out there to point to why disconnection happens. There's a ton of stuff out there to point to why disconnection is currently what you're going through. And there's a ton of stuff out there pointing to why disconnection is going to be more frequent for you in the future.
Disconnection is the focus.
Yeah.
You're manifesting your disconnection.
And you're using the unmanifested to do it.
Oh, it's so real. That's so real.
But why is that, though?
It's so real.
But you know what?
Especially during the holidays. It's so real.
But that's how people are getting validated. They're pointing and saying all of these things are, why me? We talked about that in we've been talking about that for as long as we can remember. But we've talked about I think we even go through that. We even go through that even in being together in union. But we also go through that within ourselves. We go through the whole disconnection phase. And it's something that, you just get into a thought process with. And when you're doing the thought process, you keep putting vital energy into it. And then it shows up. And you're wondering how to, why it keeps showing up. And you don't even see the vital energy that was put into talking about disconnection. That was put into why. You're not even looking at how much energy we put into something to get practice out of it so we can master it. So you've mastered disconnection. Now it's time to change this from this moment, master connection.
You have mastered disconnection.
Yes, they're all wielding Well,
twice.
and as some really great folks that just dear friends of ours has once said, "May the Force be with you," because that's kind of what you're doing. You've become a master Jedi of your own disconnection, and you're mind reading yourself into believing it.
What would happen if you switch the focus to the connection?
Well, people are going to throw well, it's not happening in the physical. I need the physical. You don't even see your own connection to your own physical in this moment because you're too busy future. You're too busy past. You're too busy listening to others. You're too busy listening to advice. You're too busy listening. You're too busy being disconnected.
You're too busy looking for 1111, 444, 555.
222. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you're too busy. You're too busy. You're too busy looking for license plates.
Mm-hmm.
You're too busy looking for numbers and signs and syncs.
And you don't even see your relationship or your connection to the moment you're actually experiencing it. And you may be paying attention to it, but you're not paying attention to your connection to everything in that moment. You're looking for the disconnection of it all. And then at some point you get back into the thought process of, oh, that message was there because it's just trying to tell me something about being disconnected. And you're going to be right about being wrong. And there's nothing, and this is, what's interesting is we can't experience anything different because everybody's doing it. Connection or not, everybody's doing it. Everybody's pointing at their own disconnection because they got to keep an identity of some kind. And you're afraid to find out. You fear to find out who you would become if you were just connected. Not just that this person you're connected to or all things connection, but you're so used to living and playing that. It's almost like a desired role.
Right.
Which you win an Oscar for every single time you do it. That you can, and then you have, of course, the fuel that feeds this to complain. Because if you use the energy of complaint, you have permission for disconnection. And then you want to attack.
It's okay.
Because it comes behind that. Because then you're going to attack those that are connected. You're going to attack those that are talking about connection. You're going to attack, and it feels good because you think you have a sense of power. You've got a sense of an identity to attack.
Right.
And you don't even see that the attack itself is your own disconnection that you think you're giving to somebody else who's connected. That doesn't make much sense, does it? You're connected. You're disconnected from their connection as a way to be connected.
Right. Your disconnection from what? One more time?
You're connected to the disconnection as a way to be connected.
Got it.
You're not even seeing that doesn't really make good math. Not that the whole universe is built on that. That's not even built on those rules. It doesn't even know what math is. But it does know that if you're doing things that you're expecting to experience over and over again, because you need to keep this identity of disconnection, nobody's going to stop you because they see this is how you want to be connected to yourself, to include the counterpart that you're connected to. If you're too busy being disconnected in here, what is it you think you're really leaving an open door for them to give you? No, that makes too much sense, Lee. Shut up. See, that would be my own disconnection. I'm okay with sharing it. Because sometimes when we're trying to make so much sense of something, we have to throw in a lie to make it make sense even more.
Right.
But because the truth is just too hard to swallow. If you can live in disconnection and make that your main reason for being and make that why everything is happening to you and only you, then you're going to be very successful in being connected to disconnection. I mean, really, what have you got to lose by breaking up with disconnection? I mean, if I were you, I would divorce the hell out of that.
You would
I'm sorry.
Divorce disconnection.
You know what? You should get a lawyer and talk to the lawyer and just say, I'm done. I'm done. I want to get an annulment from disconnection.
From disconnection.
Disconnection as a way to, we point and say, they're not connected, they're not connected. How could they be connected? How could they be connected? And you're not even seeing that, even when you're asking the question, it's something in you that you're not wanting to connect to, that you point to them and say, they did it. We hold no consequences for that. I don't know.
I'm not tired.
You're being disconnected right now.
I'm being disconnected. I agree. I think we're focused on the wrong thing.
We want to validate our disconnection.
Right. Instead of validating our connection.
Here, let me use my psychic ability. You're disconnected from someone you're connected to.
When Lee and I were in separation, one of the many times we were in separation, were we still connected?
Yes.
Did we focus on the connection?
No. We focused on the disconnection.
Hence the disconnection.
And we focused on the disconnection, and we became very aggravated, very easily with each other. Mm-hmm. But the one part that was missing here was the aggravation of being disconnected from ourselves. See, it's almost like we skip ourselves and make it about the other person.
Should we have been focused on the actual connection, a lot of our journey wouldn't even have existed. Mm-hmm. We wouldn't have had to go through that. We went through it for you.
That ponders a question.
So you don't have to.
Are we expecting this connection to fix our own disconnection to ourselves? I don't know. You be the judge of that. Oh, yeah. Use judgment. That works out well for everybody.
Wow. What are you focused on? Why is focusing on the disconnection?
Well, because that's what we've lived with most of our lives.
It is.
I mean, if you go back and you're looking at what's caused disconnection, I mean, here we are in the middle of the holidays, and we have. I mean, think about everything we do, right? I mean, we're doing a whole lot, and then we have our moments together where we don't have to focus on any of it. But when you look at our timeline throughout the day, we know how to lose time. People don't. This is not a common practice.
Right.
So even when when we've been talking about, we should continue the journey, because people need to understand that there's a part where you have to realize that you've become so connected with time, it's disconnected you from yourself.
Right.
And we get to practice that, so we know how to stop time.
Right.
I mean, I'm watching outside and I'm watching the snow, and I want to go out and dance with you. I mean, that's what I feel like doing in here.
They can see it. There's a window. Oh, look, Leia's toy. My grandbaby's toy's back there.
But you know what I'm saying? It's almost
like, in the office.
Yes, but you know what I'm saying? It's okay to be disconnected from reality.
Yeah.
It's okay to be disconnected from the now. But and that's where you're going to find your connection, not just to the person you're connected to, but everything else.
Right.
You limit that. You almost make yourself small in that process without even knowing that's what you meant. You didn't mean to do it. It's just everybody's infected with it.
Right.
And then here comes this connection, comes along, and then it really points out all of the ways that you are connected. But then when your disconnection starts to show up, you start to try to hide your disconnection. You start trying to make your disconnection not something you share.
Right.
And everybody's infected with their own way of being disconnected. And you'll seek out validation of this. I mean, if somebody wants to give you compliments and they keep complimenting you and they keep complimenting you, and then you're, oh, no, and you start getting mad at them for complimenting you, you're mad because you don't compliment you.
Right.
And you don't even see that disconnection. I mean,
the disconnection we have to ourselves can cause a disconnection in the connection.
But your connection to time is the only reason you will keep doing the same thing over and over again, thinking and wishing and hoping that you're going to have a different result, which is disconnection itself.
Doesn't it? It applies to really every aspect of life. I'm just sitting here thinking, finances, if you focus on the lack, that's what you manifest. If you focus on, or you focus on the connect, the connection, right? The financial connection.
But if I
then abundance actually.
Yeah, but think about this.
Comes.
I really focus on just hearing from them. Then all of a sudden I hear from them, and then they're really bad.
Right.
when you focused halfway. You didn't even see the focus is in place. And you focus so much
on the negative, on the disconnect, in every aspect of life. We focus on the negative aspects of our health, of our weight. The negative. We focus on I can't even speak. We focus on the negative aspect normally of everything, even in connection. You focus on the disconnect rather than the connection. You always focus towards the negative. Manifestation is in the positive.
And Sherry and Lee want to give you a Christmas present regarding that, so you can be connected. See positive as flow and see negative as resistance. And every time you try to say one or the other, say, I'm going to choose resistance. I'm choosing resistance. I'm choosing resistance. And when you say, I'm going to be positive, I'm choosing the flow. I'm choosing the flow. The flow means acceptance. The resistance means non-acceptance. And if there's any part of you on the inside when you're saying this, you're going to start to notice different changes in your life. Negative is nothing more than resistance. It doesn't mean good or bad and all of this stuff that we want to make up. Let's just talk about what it is. Both work simultaneously. If something is happening in resistance, are you willing to flow with the resistance? If something is happening with flow, do you want to resist the flow and change the direction of it? That's all it is. But you don't have to make it rocket science. You just have to make it. You don't have to make it science at all. You just have to make a choice and decide whether you want to be one of two things, connected or disconnected. And once you choose one, accept that's what you've chosen.
It's the one you focus on is the one you're getting.
Yep. Oh. No, don't say no.
Don't be pissed when you get what you want.
Celebrate it.